Hi, Sarah, and thanks a lot. So first of all, I want to make it clear that I don't know if your claims against Joe Biden are true or false. But when evaluating claims made against an individual, you have to look at that person's history and their honesty. Now, I know for a fact that you lie. And how do I know that? Because you told a dangerous lie about myself and my family. When we published articles about you in 2020, instead of refuting our claims, you claimed that Ed and I threatened to kill you and threatened to kill your daughter, and we hacked you, and that Democrats are paying us. Then, when we pushed you further, you claimed you had it all on recording and that you posted online.
Brian, you have an FBI report against you, and you have a stalking report against you.
Hey,
you went in person and were knocking on people's doors asking about
ready? So post this report against us and post the recording so everybody can see how horrible a person I am since I threatened to kill you. How about that, Tara?
There is a recording
Let's hear
of one of
play it
either
right
you
now.
or your
Play it
brother.
right now.
Let her reply, Brian. Go ahead, Tara. Do you have the recording?
I don't have the recording. The FBI does.
Wait.
I'm
so
not
you just
somewhere near the recording
without keeping a copy of it?
I have it somewhere, but the FBI has it in a report, Brian and Eddie, and I believe it was your brother. And you didn't call me. You called my daughter in the middle of the night
and we threatened to kill her.
You know what? I was actually in the space when that accusation was made. So just as an outside observer, I will say that the accusation was indeed that the call was made to Tara by Brian or Ed, and that Tara was going to present that recording, and it was never presented. So that was my recollection of that incident.
Yes, Mario, you told Mario you would send him the recording and you would post it publicly. So I'm still waiting for you to post that or refute or take back what you said about me, threatening you and your daughter's life, because I would never do that.
Brian, did you go to Watsonville, California?
I've never been to Watsonville, California in my life.
Did you knock on doors? Did you
I've
pose
never
as a
done
New York
anything like
Times
that
reporter?
you,
Did you pose as a New York Times reporter?
No, I did not.
You're denying that you posed as a New York Times reporter.
100%.
Do you have documentation, Tara, that you can share with us, showing that Brian?
Of course not. I don't have documentation with me right now. I'm 6,000 miles away. But you know who does? Is the FBI.
Okay. So you're saying you spoke to the FBI?
They have the recording as well.
But you fled to Moscow to get away from the FBI.
And you thought you were calling me, and you called my daughter and terrorized her in the middle of the night.
I called your daughter when I was doing a report in 2020. It was a casual conversation. I did not threaten her life. I asked her a simple question. I didn't realize she was picking up.
She was called in the middle of the night.
I called you, and she picked up.
Can you say what your daughter was told supposedly by Brian? Because to threaten, an allegation of having someone's life threatened, regardless if it's you or your daughter, that is a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal, and there's a police report made about it, and Brian knows it. And Brian
wait, how do I know
Brian,
that?
I'm going to ask you this: do you have Brian? Did you sign a NDA during the 2020 election?
About what?
About who you worked for?
No, I did not. I didn't work
for anybody.
I didn't work for anybody in the 2020 election. I worked for myself. I had 2 businesses. I never worked for anybody in my life.
Are you denying that you called my daughter in the middle of the night? Or was that your brother?
I called your daughter. I was calling you. She picked up. I asked her casual questions about some allegations against her. I never threatened her life. I had never intimidated her. I didn't say anything at all that would even make her think that I was threatening her life or your life. Actually, it was in the afternoon, and it wasn't at night.
But Tara, my daughter said to your daughter that was threatening. I'm just curious.
She got called in the middle of the night, and it was someone laughing hysterically and then threatening my life. And she was terrified and, had thought that, it was someone very bad.
Can you tell me exactly the words that were said that threatened her, please?
It was like hysterical laughing, and from what I could recall, she just said it was someone threatening to to kill me or kill, you know, whoever answered the phone. So in other words, she thought it was me that they were directing that anger towards.
How
But
do you
it's
know
Karen.
it was me then?
One moment, Brian. One moment, Brian. In what
So she wasn't
context
sure because she answered the phone. Apparently it was meant for me is what she thought, but she wasn't sure. Could have been meant for her. But what we did was we had the phone recording. We took it and we took it to the FBI, and the FBI made a report. They have it. It's there. I could FOIA it. It's not important to me because I'm going through other things right now.
Well, it's important
And
to me,
frankly,
though.
Brian
Will you
and
FOIA
Eddie
Tara?
Krassensteins
Will
have a
you say
history
here
of
that you will
terrorizing.
FOIA it? Will you say here in the space that you will FOIA it?
Yeah, actually, why don't you anyone here could FOIA it. All they have to do is contact the FBI in Northern California.
Don't you have a copy of it? I mean, you're the one that gave it to him. You said you have it somewhere. Wouldn't it be easier for you just to find your copy?
Yeah, it'd be probably somewhere in email or somewhere like that.
I
But
mean,
I don't have the phone
somebody,
it was originally on.
Tara, somebody that went through a lot of myself, that has a lot of doubt by a lot of people. I think the best way to prove people wrong is by facts. And that's one of the ways I've been doing it. So I think, you know, this is a serious allegation. And if somebody accused of me of threatening somebody's life, I mean, I wouldn't be so nonchalant. I would make sure to go find that recording and put it in his face and stop the conversation. I think that's why.
You're saying now that Brian should go do it. So that's another thing.
No, I'm not saying Brian. No, I'm saying Tara should do it. I'm saying Brian.
He's saying Tara.
Tara, I'm sorry, Tara.
Let me end this now. I will say that her attorney in the US will make that application, and hopefully we'll hear back from them with confirmation of the original FBI report that was made.
But this is my. I don't understand that. Why do we need to make applications? I mean, Tara's the one that has the recording. Wouldn't it be easier for her just
I don't have the same phone anymore. Hey, Brian, I have a question for you. Did you purchase one of my own phone numbers?
No, I did not.
Of my old
no,
phone
I did
numbers?
not.
You're lying, and I have proof of that as well.
For what purpose?
You realize that reporters
Tara?
can get people's phone numbers through various means. You don't.
No. There was a previous phone number that I had, and Brian and his brother went through a list of all the people that were on it and called them. And Brian, you know what? You're being disingenuous.
You're just lying here, Tara. You're
not. No, I'm not lying. Brian.
Tara,
Let me finish.
You said your daughter got the phone call. How did she know it was me? Did I say it was me? Then how did you know that?
She didn't know it was you.
So some random person called your daughter and threatened her and you said it was me. So how?
But Tara, even you had admitted in that space that you were not 100% sure that that was Brian and Ed, and then you speak with such certainty, which it's like it's kind of baffling.
No. I said I wasn't sure it was Brian. It sounded like Eddie. It sounded like his voice. Their voices are very distinct, but Eddie has a different kind of higher pitched voice. And so what I said was I wasn't sure if it was Brian or Eddie.
That
but yeah, definitely, Brian, you know that you terrorized my family in 2019 and 2020. You over and over again. You never came to me. You never, with integrity, came to me and asked me about what happened.
We reached out to you several times, and you refused to answer even the slightest questions. Tara, that is the truth. Now, you're making these horrible allegations against me. You posted it to Twitter for thousands of people to see. You called people...
Brian, you know that I'm telling the truth. You know that you and your brother are engaged in this kind of terrorizing behavior. It's been published before. You've gotten in trouble with the law before.
I've never been arrested or charged with a crime in my life. Stop using that as an excuse.
You did not get arrested, Brian?
I've never been arrested in my life.
Okay, look, we cannot make accusations against people. I mean, this is a really serious thing. To make accusations against people without proof and evidence, that is like, I think this is something we can all agree on that we do not want in our society. So if we make serious accusations like that, we need to back that up with evidence. And in these spaces...
Catherine, this guy has been hounding me for years.
Okay, but you need to present evidence, right? Like,
no, I don't need to do shit.
Well, yes,
I don't need to do anything.
That is not. It's the court of public.
I mean, like,
that's a pretty fundamental thing.
It's not up to him to produce evidence that he hasn't done what he's being accused of. It's when someone's being accused of, let's say, threatening someone's life. There's no way for him to prove he didn't do it. So he's got to. So the person who's saying that you did this has to come with something. So that I think that's the point that Catherine perhaps might be making, or at least I'm making. here.
So Tara, you say that Brian and or Ed made these threats. My question to you is, for what purpose and on whose behalf? Why would they make these threats on their own behalf? What reason, what context?
Mic's off.
Just have to
My mic.
unmute. There you go. There you go. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead. You just have to click unmute. Go ahead.
I did, but it kept getting off.
There's a delay.
You know what?
Apologies.
You know what's interesting is how the Krassenstein brothers use their political clout to sideline conversations and cause chaos. They're chaos creators. There's police reports. My lawyer said that they would FOIA them.
Show us the police reports.
But I wanted to know, Brian, for what purpose would they have to make
Why would he
threats
threat?
you
Yeah.
or your daughter?
Why would they want to say to kill you?
Right.
I don't know, but they were terrorizing us at the time. So, you know,
so I
left it with the police. I'm sorry?
I mean, it's called witness intimidation, and this kind of thing happens all the time. It's prevalent. Many people have been subjected to it.
You're just making crap up, though. That's the thing. You've been saying this for months that we.
Brian, I made a police report about it. I made a federal police report about it.
So you made a police report, and the police never
I made an
contacted you
FBI
over
report,
this?
not just a police
So
report.
where is it? Where is it? You would have.
It's on record. You can find it.
Brian, we've already said we will we'll FOIA that.
You don't need
report.
to FOIA it. It's a public document.
Okay,
you would
actually
have. You would have it.
You do.
Okay, can I say something? Can I say something real fast?
No.
Can I say something real fast?
If we can get it on file, if we can hound through Tara's emails, we will get it. Otherwise, we will submit a FOIA request. So that's case closed. Leave the ball in our court.
Until then, it is slanderous.
Frankly, what I don't understand.
I'm going to just.
Frankly, what I don't understand is why Brian and Eddie were never called by the police, by the FBI, when I went to them for more than one report. So when we do the FOIA, you'll see more than one report. And it sounds like Brian and Eddie were never even contacted or called.
Maybe they didn't think you were credible, and that's why they didn't pursue it. I mean, could that be
No, I gave them a recording. I
just want to say something. So in that Twitter space with Mario, I actually still have the link to the recording for those who want to listen to it. Tara specifically claimed that she had a recording with her. She had the recording, and Mario said, post it. And you said, okay, I'll send it to you, Mario. The next day, I DM'd Mario. Mario said, she never sent it to me. You claimed you had it. You claimed you were going to send it to them. You claimed you would post it. It never happened. Do you know why it never happened?
I claimed that the FBI had it. I don't.
No, you claimed you had it. Should I play it right now?
Now, again, you're hijacking the space, Eddie.
Tara, can I play the recording right now?
Can you post the link, please, to the space that you have?
A minute, an hour 18 it starts. Everybody can go listen to what she said, her own words.
Yes, and you both are terrorizing people, and you know it. And you've had article after article about, you specifically hounded my family and me, and you scared the crap out of my daughter. And you did make threats on me, and you know you did. It was enough to scare me enough to go to the FBI, and I didn't know you. I didn't know who you were. I found out later about your history and about who you are.
What's our history?
And if anyone looks up your name, if anyone Googles your names.
What's our history?
If you Google your names, Brian, you can see that you have a history of intimidating people.
Like who?
Terrorizing
who did we
people,
ever
hounding
intimidate
people.
in our lives? Name one person.
Google your name right now, Brian.
Google it and tell us. I don't. Name one instance. Name one instance from a.
Tara, I think what everybody's trying to get at. I mean, you're the one that's making the accusations against people, and there's some serious allegations, just like against Joe Biden. So your credibility is very important for you to be able to proceed with your allegations, and you're not being right now credible because you're saying, "Why don't you Google it?" But I think you're the one that should be like, "Hey, this is what you did, and here's the facts. I mean, and right now, you're not coming up with any facts. What you're doing is throwing a lot of accusations. And to make matters worse, I mean, you fled to a country that as we all know, doesn't have a stellar reputation when it comes to free speech or protection of women's rights. The media is Kremlin controlled. And doesn't it look like, worry you that you might be being used as a pawn in their attempt to interfere in our U.S. election here? And then when they're done with you, you could be the next one on the chopping board?
So I just posted the link above. You feel free to listen to it. At
All
1
right,
hour.
Eddie and
No,
Brian,
Don't say what? Let me finish saying what I'm saying so everybody can listen if they want. If they don't want, they don't have to listen. 1 hour and 18 minutes in until 1 hour and 25 minutes and 56 seconds in is when Tara Reade claims she has the recording, claims she'll post it. So go ahead and listen to that. I also have DMs from Mario where he said that you told him you'd send him the recording and you never did. I can post those as well.
post them. Go ahead. I told Mario that
Post them in the chat, please.
Yeah, and the FBI has the recording. I mean, so you'll get the recording, and not only that, but it's somewhere on in my email.
But how do you know it was me? You didn't answer that question.
How did I know it was you? It was during the time, Brian, that you were hounding me.
So
you and Eddie
there are a million
online.
reports on you at the time, Tara.
And we
mainstream
recognize
media
your voice.
was reporting on you. How do you know it wasn't somebody else?
We recognize your. By the way, you're hijacking this space. This isn't about you, Brian, and it's not about you, Eddie.
No, Tara, it's about you, but it's about your credibility.
We realize that you are a Biden supporter. We realize that you work for Democrats.
But Tara, I don't think that has anything to do with who they support. I think
absolutely has everything to do with it, Lev. And again, you're hijacking.
Tara, we're talking about your credibility. You're coming out and making some serious accusations, and they're pushing back at you.
I made a police report.
Okay, so where's the copy of it? I mean, when I make a police report and you get a copy of the police report.
No, you do not.
Of course
get a copy
you do.
Of it,
of course
Lev.
you do.
You do not get a copy of it.
You absolutely do. When you make a report.
She's saying
not, Lev.
But
Tara, you just claimed you had the report, but you lost it. You just said you had it and you lost it.
I had it and lost it.
You did. That's what you just said like 10 minutes ago.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that. I'm talking about the voice.
She said it's somewhere there. She had a phone that she doesn't have access to.
Look, as we said, we will check whether we can get a copy urgently from Tara. Alternatively, we will do a FOIA request. So let's stop talking about whether or not.
What about the recording? When is that going to be?
What is it you were going to check the email to see if it was in her email? What was that about?
What I said is we will check whether Tara can get access to her files. Obviously, some of them are back in the US. She's stuck in Russia now.
But the file is a copy of the.
I mean, when you say she's stuck in Russia, she's there on her own will.
Just a moment. I'm going to have you speak to that, Rada, and then we're going to go to hands that have been up. But go ahead, Rada.
So she's currently in Russia. If we are able to access her files that pertains to this, then we will do so. If not, we will make a FOIA request. But any further conversation on this issue is distractional. We've already said that we will do that. So let's close that.
But I don't understand, rather, as a lawyer. I mean, just because she's in Russia, she doesn't have access? Is she limited to being able to?
I don't have access to some of my
information. This is distractional and it's irrelevant. We've already said we will do it, so let's end it.
Well, as her lawyer, I think it's very relevant because it brings her credibility at stake because of her accusations.
Lev, we all know that you're pro-Ukraine. Stop.
And they're absolutely I'm pro-Ukraine. I'm pro-USA. I'm pro-America.
And so what you guys are doing is called, because remember I worked as a Democratic operative. Remember the work that I did. What you're doing is called chaos agent. You're trying to.
How long did you work as a Democratic operative, by the way, Tara?
I worked on congressional races right before I worked for Joe Biden.
For how many years?
I have a question to you outside of this. Can I ask a question?
No, you may not ask any more questions. Yeah, I'm done with the Krassensteins.
Are you scared,
They're literally
off. Are you scared of my questions?
Ed,
I'm not. You're not relevant to me.
Hi, Ed. I'll give you just a moment. We have a couple of hands. I'll get to the hands. We'll circle back. But go ahead, Yeti.